I'm just out for a few holes. I have something to show you. It has answered a few questions in my golf. It has cured a problem I've had for ages. But I'd just like to state right now, this is not a paid advertisement. I am not getting paid for this promotion whatsoever. Right, we're on. I don't normally do reviews for things, teaching aids and things like that. However, every now and again a little piece of genius rises to the top, and do you know what, if it's going to help my game, which I think this one will, I am quite willing to openly chat about it. This is a product that's designed in Scotland, made in Scotland, that also helps, but this has actually solved a problem I have on the golf course. Right, my ball's on the green here. I am about 1 to 2.5 feet, sorry, which is 8 feet from the hole, and it breaks from right to left. Now, I do not draw a line on my golf ball, and there's a reason I do not draw a line on the golf ball. Pretty simple, really. That there's the line that I don't draw. The reason I don't draw a line on my golf ball is because when I'm on top of the ball, replacing my ball to the marker, I find it very hard to be able to look at both the line on the ball and my intended start line of my putt. So I find it very hard from my visual eyes looking down the way, as opposed to where the start line is. I can't really line that putt up using that. So I've just generally in the past, I've placed ball down so the ball's clear white, no line on it at all, and I've used my eye of judgment to take the line of my putter to try and get me in line with target. It's not great. I'd like to use the line, but until now I've never found a way for me to be able to utilise that correctly. So I would be here, I would mark my ball, line on the ball, and I'm now looking down the way at the golf ball. Yet the starting line's there, so I find it hard to line up without wasting time by walking back to make sure, nope, that's not right. Change it again. Be with you in a minute, lads. So I'm slowing down play. Visually I'm putting my golf ball down, and I'm looking down in this action here towards the golf ball. I can't see the hole when I'm doing that. I have to move as far back as I can. Still find that awkward because my eyes are looking down here, yet I'm trying to get my start line over here in relation to my intended target. So it's hard for me because my eyesight's going down, target's up there. That's why I've never used the line on the golf. So now this little gadget called the Dead Aim comes in its little neoprene holder, I guess it's called, which is handy. Okay. Comes in the form of a pitchfork, so we can use this obviously to repair pitch marks. It also has, it's quite clever this little circle here can be used to draw the line on the golf ball. That is clever. Also, if your putter's wet or the grass is wet, you can put that in the ground and rest the grip of your putter, cigar, whatever you want on there. The marker side of things comes out. So this is the marker we're talking about. This is the Dead Aim. This is what's going to mark the golf ball. This is what's going to show me my intended starting line. I can then line up the line on my golf ball with one of these 5 prongs. So I get up to the ball, up to the green, and you can see my ball is 8 feet away from the hole. 8 feet is a distance that everyone can chip to or pitch to. If we could hole every putt from within 8 feet, we'd all be pretty good golfers. It's getting that start line. If you watch this TPC Sawgrass, the guys were all talking about start line, start line, start line. Faldo used to bang on about when you're putting you must get your start line correct. Now I can't get my start line correct because I can't aim the ball in the first place because of my visual as I look towards the golf ball and try to mark it, as I've just mentioned. Now though, I know this is going to break right to left. I've assessed it as I've walked up to the green. I know the putt's right to left, so when I place this marker, I'm going to place this marker in a position that the curve, or these prongs, all point slightly right of the hole in a general direction of where I think the line's going to be. Just a general direction. So my ball marker is aiming just right of the hole. You can see all 5 prongs are aiming to the right of my intended hole, so that's going to give me a start line. It's now up to me to decide which of these 5 prongs do I want to set the line of my golf ball on in order for this putt to break back towards the hole. With my marker in place, I can now go back behind the golf ball as far as I like. That way I'm bringing the hole, my intended start line, and the line of the golf ball all into one view. So my visual's perfect. I'm not looking down and then looking up, down and up. I'm now looking straight along the intended start line of my putt, and I can see hole, marker or intended start line and line on golf ball. So I've placed my marker on the ground, everyone else is putting. I can now come further back and go, okay, I think that's going to move on the 4th line, 5th line to the right. I then come back up, my golf ball down, and this is where the magic is. So I've placed my ball back in line with the middle prong. I've assessed that this right hand prong is the line that I want my ball to start on. So then I'll simply do is I turn the black line so it's parallel to the right hand white line. Silver line, so I just turn it there, so it's now parallel with the right hand line. That then has given me the exact starting line. I can look straight down on top of the golf ball as I do this. It's given me the exact starting line. Take that away, now there's no questions to be asked. There's no doubt in my mind now that that ball is correctly lined up with my intended starting line. The only thing that can go wrong is my centeredness of strike and my pace. That's my fault. The ball is now in perfect position for me to start. I now look straight down, my eyes go straight down as I place the ball on line and then move it. I don't have to look at the hole. This is now my reference point. I put the ball directly down, I look directly down on top of it, turn it into position wherever it has to be, then I'm ready to go. So that might have seemed a little bit long-winded, but all I do is I come up to the golf ball, I place my marker in the general direction I want the ball to start in, I then clean my golf ball, everyone else is putting, doing their thing, and I'm stepped way back from the ball marker, and I can assess using the dead aim as to which prong I'm going to choose. I then go over the ball marker, over the top of the dead aim, place the line in the ball, parallel with my intended start line, whichever prong in the dead aim it is, take marker away, ready to go. I'm guaranteed, I'm 100% sure that part of the game's taken out, the doubt's out now. That black line is in line exactly with my start line, exactly where I want the ball to start. And as I mentioned before, the only thing that can go wrong now is the pace I put on the putt or the centeredness of strike. The ball will start on line though. So my ball's on the green, I walk up, I mark ball, aiming the dead aim, slightly right of target because I know it's going to break right to left, general line of the putt. I then come back as everyone else is putting, I get a good distance away so I can see start line, flag or hole and ball marker, choose my prong, I'm thinking 4th prong here, so I'm starting left to right, I class that as 1, 2, 3, 4, line up with the middle one, as I look directly down, move it so it's in line with 4th prong, that's all parallel, take it away. Now I don't have to reline that up, that's definitely on my starting line. Now it's up to me just to get a centred strike and pace, and the ball will start on its line towards the hole. So that was purely pace, that was my fault there. So as you can see there somewhere, the ball finished short of the hole, but it was perfectly on line. It was my lack of pace, that was my fault. Let's try another couple. A little bit higher up the green here. Still going to break a little bit right to left, mark my ball, good, come back. Yep, 3rd prong, so middle prong, I've placed that marker pretty well, looking directly down. Good, yep, lined up, step on, all lined up, good. There we go. That was good, happy with that. The angle of the 5 little prongs is based on an 8-foot putt, so it's 8 feet and in. You can use it from further back from that, but I find from 8 feet and in it's deadly, as you just saw. So these are angled that from 8 feet, if the lines continue out, because they're going to spread wider and wider as they go, it's basically 21 inches from the marker. From the marker to 8 feet, it's 21 inches dispersion. So there's 5 cups. So on an 8-foot putt, very rarely will it break any more than 5 cups. So even if you start the bottom prong directly in line with the hole and a right to left breaker, you've got 5 cups to the right, then you can choose which prong. It's very clever. Guys, as I mentioned before, I don't really bang on about training aids, but I feel this one here It's not, but as a training aid, I guess as a training aid, it's helping you line up your putts. It's also ensuring that you can start the ball on the intended start line, if you like, using dead aim. And it's absolutely dead aim. And I feel as though this has solved a problem for me. That was seriously a problem for me, this lining up the putt or the ball with the intended line, using the line on the ball. But everyone on tour's using the line on the ball. I can't understand how they can see far enough along their intended target line from this 8-foot putt and line the ball up with that. Use it. It baffles me. But at least now there's an answer. I'm happy. In the box below is all the details on it. It tells you where to buy them, how to buy them. It's pretty simple. As I say, made in Scotland. Nice.